Hello all. 3 years ago, I pictured graduation day entirely differently. 3 years ago, I pictured I would be standing here with a $160,000 check in my hand and a new car. 3 years ago, I pictured the graduation booklet would list all the graduates and where they were going to work the next year. 3 years ago, I imagined that Dean Brokaw and I would be married by now. But things have changed. Though I do secretly date the lovely Dean Brokaw, the stark reality is that the view from the mountaintop is not as picturesque as we had hoped 3 years ago. So what was law school? Law school was bizarre. Law school, I found it to be a strange cocktail of 2 parts junior high gossip to 3 parts freshman year of college binge drinking. And parents, before you worry, the hooders who've gone through law school in years past, that's true everywhere. It's very weird. I don't know if it's the great weight of the law on our minds that makes us act so foolishly, but I'm scared of most of these people after dark. Interestingly, no one remembers why they went to law school. Some point to justice, others to a desire to hone their beer pong skills, but few of us can deny the allure of the lifestyle. Our country's excess spending on entitlements and lack of security regulation, however, have stripped away our sense of entitlement and our sense of security. Fortunately, the business school got all the blame, so it's all good. Ha ha, fool you. Yes, the news these days stinks. Even watching television these days stinks. Every commercial begins, in times like these, what can you be sure of? Well, at any time, what can you be sure of? Nothing. I mean, give me a break. Everything is going to be fine. We may not get what it is that we wanted or what we thought we wanted 3 years ago, but you will reap fortunes untold in your life. Brent Douglas told you so. So it's true. People say to me, well, you're graduating in 2009, man. Ouch. Well, forget you, man. I have a JD and you don't. Shine my shoes. I am late for my plane. Is this caviar beluga? No? Take it away. The truth is, there are actual, legitimate signs of hope and optimism all around us. First, we are unquestionably entering into the age of lawyerism. From Fortune 500 companies to small businesses, no one will sign a contract or create a unique financial instrument without consulting their attorney. And that is good. Good both for us and for this country. There are going to be massive regulatory bodies formed under the new administration, and jobs will be found there. Find them. Second, we are free. Whereas many before us were blessed with jobs that enabled them to pay off the albatross of student debt wringing their necks, many simply failed to progress personally and socially as they slaved away their young lives. Don't do that. Your BlackBerry is not a toy, nor is it your wife, nor is your wife a toy. We, the class of 2009, must use imaginative and purposeful planning to find jobs within our freedom. And we are allowed, more so than any class before us, to use bold, persistent experimentation. Take a method and try it. If it fails, admit it frankly and try another. But above all, try something. The truth is, many of us will never practice law a day in our lives. I recommend growing fields of piracy and doing construction in Emory Village. The paths are infinite and the results uncertain, but competence is a rare commodity, and I have faith in you. You will be fine. Brent Douglas told you so. Third, the need for law remains and in fact rises in times of need. In broad terms, I assert that every lawyer has an obligation to ensure that all persons subject to our laws are viewed equally before them. To those unfortunate citizens wronged by others or by faulty systems, aid must be extended by lawyers, not as a matter of charity, but as a matter of social duty. We as lawyers have gotten off pretty easy in the blame game of this economic meltdown. Though CNN's picture that sums up the financial crisis is invariably of Wall Street, the path investment bankers tread was illuminated by the fire of lawyers. We were there. We were there as lawyers and as lawmakers. We were there, and we failed. Whether you want to or not, you will hold people's lives and livelihoods in your hands. And with fewer and fewer of us going into big corporate jobs of mergers and acquisitions, this becomes increasingly true. We will have to deal with people, and people are a pain in the butt. To be sure, imaginative and bold changes are not only needed in the lives of Emory graduates, but within the walls of Emory's education as well. It is not acceptable to graduate someone into the profession of law without the skills to hang a shingle and practice. From divorce to personal injury to wills, virtually none of us is capable to any degree. I don't know a well-planned will from a well-planned Thursday K. But of course, I'm illiterate and bald. Further, in the new landscape of it being virtually impossible to pay the monthly minimums on six-figure student debt, no one should be asked to pay full price at Emory Law. Above all, I simply implore the class of 2009 to remain optimistic and focus on what really makes you happy. As the safe expectations of our law careers have fallen all around us, our characteristic optimism must remain. Yes, it is true that the return to normal, whatever normal was before we started law school 3 years ago, is gone. But our invigorating sense of possibility is not. The phrase, the American dream, is only 75 years old. But as it has insinuated its way into the lexicon, it has morphed and shifted into what is, to me, a very troubling and materialistic vision. The class of 2009, with the exception of Rob McKenna, Dan Connor, Julie Oyninen, and Mike Eber, are children of the 90s. We only had to walk as far as our mailbox to find the American dream, to discover that we've been pre-approved for 3 new credit cards, and that the limits on our existing cards have been raised without ever even having to ask. The class of 2009, however, was lied to. The American dream for us was almost by definition unattainable, a moving target that eludes our grasp. Nothing is ever enough because nothing ever will be enough. Let's be honest. For many of us, big law partnership was never our goal. Big law associateship was never our goal. Big law partnership had to be attained. Even still, recognizing the tremendous workload that phase of the dream requires, the dream told us to hoard money while earned there, retire early, and coach our 4th oldest daughter's soccer team. The class of 2009 must challenge some of the orthodoxies that have brought us to this point. Most specifically, we must realize this: the middle class in America is a good place to be. What I realized when I transitioned from a career in entertainment to the more modest enterprise of law is that the American dream is not fundamentally about stardom or extreme success. And recalibrating our expectations, we need to appreciate that it is not an all or nothing deal, founded on the outmoded proposition that each generation must be more well off than the one that preceded. I improved my life, even my family's lineage, by being nice to other people and saying stupid things. Whatever brings you this joy, focus on that. Yes, the world today is totally messed up. But let's look on the bright side here, people. If we can fix it, if we, the class of 2009, can clean this mess up, then we're heroes. I mean, they'll have parades for us and stuff, and we don't even have to risk our lives in a war winning that crap. But that's the world. What about our lives? What kind of wisdom can I impart on us that will ease our transition from law school back into our parents' basement? Well, I don't know. but everything will be okay.